we go.
There we are.
Welcome to the show.
Let's check to see if we're live.
Yeah, that's
we are. We are live on Facebook officially.
Woot. Yes, everybody, thank you for being so patient with us. We finally got it working. Facebook, we are out of Facebook jail. And
yeah,
we can finally broadcast in multiple places now.
Right.
So that's
about damn time.
About damn time. That's right. Welcome to the show, everybody. This is Hittin the Chip. I believe this is episode number 5. Correct?
I do believe so. Yeah.
Episode 5. Fresh tires, same fire. That's what we named this one. So we'll kind of get into that a little bit. But a lot to go over. As we had race number 2 on the season at Colorado National Speedway last weekend. We also had a couple announcements for, we can check in with some of the other touring series going on around the West Coast and whatnot. Some local people getting out of town. Had the Spears Cars Tour West out at All American Speedway that we'll get into a little bit too. Pretty prominent name that we all know that is competing in that series full time. So, but with that being said, we're gonna give a little shout out to our sponsor, and then we'll just jump right into it. Here we go.
Sure.
I know he's down there just making noises, stalling. He just put so much work into keeping this act going.
Hey. Yeah, Mandy's still home. Her friend's gonna pick her up like any moment. Can you do like a loop around the block or something? Perfect. Okay. Yes. All right. Thanks. See you soon.
Oh, all right. I think you're on mute.
I think you put me on mute.
I think I did too. My bad.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I'm still learning. But anywho, all right. So last weekend, we're just going to jump right in full force. There's a lot to cover from last weekend. So you had the Purple Wave Auctions puts the hammer down at Colorado National Speedway. It was night number 2. So recap, you had the Pure Stocks, Super Stocks, Grand American Modifieds, and the Figure 8s. We'll go ahead and we'll just jump right into the Pure Stocks. I watched the Pure Stocks dash, if you will. I did not see I did see the fast dash as well. But not a whole lot of, not a whole lot of discrepancies there or really anything major, right? No major storylines, I would say, within the dashes.
Right.
So, and granted, now the Pure Stocks, Super Stocks, for anybody who might be new to racing, Pure Stocks, Super Stocks, Grand American Modifieds, we all had 2 separate dashes. There was only one dash for the Figure 8s itself. But so the dash, I'm just going to announce the winner. So it was John Ranum in the 56 car, what took your dash. And then Ronnie Johnson was the number 34 car. He was your fast dash winner. We're just going to jump into the main event right away. Because there's some things we have to talk about after this race.
Okay.
But I think it kind of got strung out from what I remember. Got strung out. There was nothing really, no like real hard beating and banging or anything. There was some really good racing, really good side-by-side racing going on throughout the entire thing. The leaders kind of got, got away from the field. Ronnie Johnson ended up taking a pretty good lead. But, and then, Sean Sully, he was running the top 5. Let's see, what else happened? Oh yeah, I remember Christopher Galvin ended up getting into the wall a little bit on the back stretch. I do remember that part. But yeah, nothing outside of that. There was nothing really major. Do you remember anything that stood out to you about that race?
I unfortunately did not watch the Pure Stocks race.
Pure Stock race.
Yeah, nothing against those guys. Just sitting in the trailer, kind of waiting for our main event to start.
Well, and you know, for us too, it's hard. Like we're on the go. Granted, now you didn't race, which we'll get into because there was a lot of questions from Saturday.
Mhm.
But you know, it's tough to get to watch every single race. But the one thing that I wanted to bring up about that was, and I didn't hear about this till it was after the night was over, but at the end of the night, the 12S Sean Sully ended up being your race winner. After Ronnie Johnson ended up taking the checkered flag. So, and it says on the official score sheet that he was disqualified. Now, again, rumors are rumors. I haven't been told 100%. I'm sure there's probably everybody that's watching this right now might know more than me, but I heard there was something in the motor. I don't know what that was, but that's just the rumor of what I
Yeah,
heard.
they had that car still in tech even after we went to tech.
Yes, it was still sitting in the garage. So for him to get a DQ, right? Like it had to have been something major, I'm
Mhm.
assuming, because as we've seen in the past, usually it's spot position. So yeah, I mean that's
It was a total DQ. It must have been a non-tolerable
big no.
offense. Yeah.
Big no. Motor pumped way too high. Okay. So
All
there we
right.
go. You know, I mean, I know there's been some questions about motors and a bunch of different stuff in the past. So to me, that sets a precedence, right? Like
Mhm.
you're not going to tolerate things. You know, I'm not going to say one way or another, but the rule's been made or the call's been made, right? Like,
Right.
so they stuck with it and they disqualified. So I'm okay, right? Like if it's a true infraction, they found it done. I'm glad that they took the necessary steps based upon what the rule book says.
Right.
What do you think?
I mean, we've been talking about it for a while that,
Yeah.
you know, we want to stick to the rule book, and when stuff like this happens, you know, okay, Ronnie Johnson's probably going to be pretty pissed about it, but at the same time, you know, it's in the rule book as a non-tolerable rule, I'm assuming, and you know, it's a disqualifiable offense. So
Yeah.
it's deserving, right? I
Right.
hate it for the guy,
Yeah.
but we've been wanting to have the rules enforced, and they're enforcing it.
Yep.
They're this is the first offense that we've seen so far that they're setting the precedence. I hope they're setting a precedence. So kind of going forward, we'll have to kind of see what happens, you know, in other instances. Hopefully nobody does get busted. Keep your cars clean. But we all know that we push the limits. But you know, it's what we've been talking about. Everybody's been talking about it. Stick to the rule book.
Right.
Enforce the rule book. Well, if it finally got enforced.
Right. And
So
I agree. I mean, everything you said there was spot on.
there
It's
was also a
definitely
protest.
it was off a protest,
Yeah.
which makes it even. And we'll kind of get into the tech portion of it later, right?
Right.
Because that's something that we kind of talked about and we wanted to kind of bring up on this show once we get towards the end of kind of the recap. So we're going to kind of speed through this a little bit because we want to bring up some of the green flag, black flag stuff again. And there's some topics that we're going to kind of talk about. So in short, yes, happy that it's been made. The call was been made and that they stuck to it. Okay, if it was official protest, then and you got popped, you got popped. I mean,
Right.
it sucks and whatnot, but you take your lump, you go home, you fix it, and you go back out and you try to win again, right? So, and it's a
Exactly.
good car, so hopefully it doesn't affect it all that much and comes back out next week and can do the right thing and go win more races.
Exactly.
So your official top 5 real quick is coming in first, like we said, is Sean Sully. Second was the 63 of Kenneth Bolas. Fourth was Giovanni Skimica. I think that's how you say his. I have no idea how you officially pronounce that. But one thing that I want to talk about this kid. I don't know how many people know about this kid, but I've kind of followed him along friend requested me, I think it was late last year or something, and he ended up racing on the dirt, like one of those kids that super wanted to go racing, is, didn't quite have the funds. He had like a GoFundMe page up and stuff to try and get some help, and finally was of age to be able to go asphalt racing. Goes out and finishes in the top 5 your first night. I saw some pictures online of this kid, and it's just ear to ear grin, and that's the stuff you live for.
Right.
It was amazing to see it. Like those are the storylines that I love to follow. People like that. A young kid goes out, never done this. Families, I don't know much about the family, but family's probably not been overly involved in racing a whole lot, and to go out and get a top 5 finish, hats off. That's awesome.
Right.
And then coming in 5th was the 19Y of Justin Young Jr. So there's a junior out there now. So anyways, there's your rundown of the pure stocks. We'll jump into the super stocks. I'm going to take the reins on the pure stock, super stocks, and Jake's going to talk about the figure eights and the gams. So super stock race, man, I'm going to kind of skip over the dashes a little bit. Again, there wasn't a whole lot of, I wouldn't say action, but they got strung out. Like the dashes this year so far, they kind of get single file, not a whole lot going on.
There was some passing here and there in action.
Here and there, right.
Nothing like, oh, some idiot threw somebody in a wall or something. Yeah.
But what I really want to talk about was the feature. And holy crap, man. Best show of the night, by far. They put on the best show, by far. I want to get an official head count. There was 29 that started the race, but there was 30 of them that showed up. Seeing those cars take the green flag, and there's still a pile of them left in turn 4 as the front row is crossing the finish line to start the race. That was awesome. I mean, I love that, dude. It is so cool to see. And there's passing everywhere. Like, when you have that many cars on the track, and this is why I was a big proponent of combining the pure stock, super stocks. When you have that many cars on the track, there's always something to watch. Mm-hmm. It doesn't get strung out at all. Like there's always some passing going on. There's always some cool stuff to like keep your eye on. Oh, look at these two battling it out for 10th, right?
Right.
But overall, I mean, it was a damn good race. You had in the top 5, really, they kind of got out in front, but they were neck and neck with each other. Like the top 5 were bumper to bumper pretty much the whole race. Mm-hmm. Kyle Stidham did a phenomenal job once he got out front, because Chris Cox ended up getting around the kind of like get into second place. Okay, so he got up to second, and he was trying his ass off to get up to the bumper of Kyle. And a couple times he got there, you could see he tried to get him loose, and just couldn't quite do it. Brett Cave, he came out of nowhere, and he was running the top 5. Jordan Abeda was up there. John Humphrey was right there. So a lot of good cars like in the top 5 and put on a phenomenal show. Like I said, I watched the whole thing before our race, and I was just involved in it, right? Like emotionally, you're just watching this. You're like, come on, because there was that much action going on.
Yeah. Well, it sounded like there was, because I mean, all up and down the stands, all you can hear is go, 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 cheering, 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 go, 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 get him.
Right.
Yeah. So that's what you like to hear.
Yeah, you love for that, right? And for the super stocks, hats off all to you guys. You guys put on a hell of a good show. I mean, to me, again, like, even the gams, right? Like, we didn't put on that great of a show, but they sure as hell did. I mean, it was all the way down to the wire. You were on the edge of your seat wondering what was going to happen in the last 5 laps and who was going to make an aggressive move here to try and move up in a position, or try to, if Chris Cox was going to finally get to the bumper and move him out of the way or whatever. So, needless to say, it was awesome. I enjoyed it. That was worth the ticket price, in my opinion, was watching that one race. Yeah. So congratulations to Kyle Stidham. Like I said, phenomenal job. You did awesome. Once you got out front, there was really nobody that was going to be able to pass you. They could get to you, but they just couldn't pass you.
Yeah.
Chris Cox came in 2nd. Brent Cave came in 3rd. Jordan Abeda ended up 4th, and John Humphrey ended up 5th. A lot of good cars. It was good to see. There's a couple new ones out there. It was good to see McChrista Hilton back in a car. I know she's taken some time off over the course
And
of
her
the
and her
last
friends put that whole car together.
Did they really?
Like
I didn't know that.
I know maybe her dad had like some influence here and there, but from the sounds of it, that post that Adam had the other day, like her and her friends took that entire car and got it going.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I do have to give a little shout out here because I didn't know this either. So thank you again for putting this on there. But this was his first win.
Really?
I didn't know that. I did not know that was his first win.
That is
I mean,
crazy.
that's been a greater accomplishment.
Yeah, no kidding.
That's awesome. Congratulations, man. I mean, that was a hell of a drive, man. I'm not kidding. I'm not going to take anything away from you there. You earned the shit out of that one.
Right. Oh man, I didn't know that either. It's crazy.
I do have to say though, I got to give a shout out because as we're going to do again this year, we're going to do it towards the end of the year. We're going to do the contest of who's got the best looking car. And right now my vote goes to one particular super stock out there. And yeah, that Hardy's car, that bright orange and blue. Oh my God, dude, that thing is badass looking.
Yeah. I would, I don't know. I wouldn't even race it. I would keep that thing. I'd roll it out in the driveway and I'd clean it every day.
Just stare at it.
Yeah.
Just kind of
take it to like every car show you can.
Dude, you know it would be worthy to take it to like a car show and just leave it there and you'd win. Guaranteed.
Oh, for sure. 100%.
Oh, that thing is so sweet.
Yeah. But them cars are good, so making it sit at home, it's just not doing it any favor.
True that.
Right.
True that.
I guess you can always fix it and repaint it.
I'm sure at some point there's going to be some fenders to be fixed.
If not already, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, hopefully Justin Young can keep that thing clean because that thing is slick looking. I mean, that's my vote. Early on in the season, we still haven't seen all the cars yet, but that's my vote. But anywho, all right. So that's kind of your quick recap of the super stock race and the pure stocks. You want to take it over for the figure eights and the games?
Yeah. I mean, the figure eights dash race kind of ended up like the main event, so I won't really get into the dash race of the figure eights, but Jeremy Wall did win that. He did set quick time, so he was going for the night sweep. Kind of early on, I think Jeremy started kind of middle to back and, was working his way up. There was a couple of, which I thought this was interesting, especially after the pit meeting, is they talked about the cones and guys trying not to hit the cones. And I think the cones got destroyed during the heat race, that they finally pulled out the tires. And I don't know if it was like right off the bat or after a first caution, but it was like you could see a couple of guys tried to cut the inside tire. We all know what happens when you try to cut in on an inside tire. Doesn't really work out very well. So a couple cars got kind of pushed up the track, and I don't think anybody got major damage or anything like that from that one, but did kind of create a ooh kind of moment. But after that, it was kind of like they got spread out. There was a little bit of passing here and there. Javon Bernard blew a motor. It sounds like he broke a rod and went right through the. It didn't go through the motor. I think it went through the oil pan, if I remember right, when Kyle Control told me about it. So that kind of sucks for them. They just, kind of put that thing back together. And he said there was a lot of races on that thing, but.
Well, I know Isaac was having some motor trouble too.
Yeah, exactly. But he got out for the main event, which was good. Yep. And Jared Wall brought the old 52 out instead of the yellow one, not the blue one. So it was kind of cool to see him in that car. But the biggest thing for me is the designs of the cars this year, right? And just to finish the recap, Jeremy Wall, of course, surprise, gets up front, takes it, and wins it. Michael Wolf Jr. was in second, D3, Jared Wall, and then Travis Sanders. But it's really interesting to see the redesigns of all the car bodies this year. Mm-hmm. They're pushing the limits, and trying stuff that's new, which that's good. You know, you want to see things change for the better, right? You don't want to see things be blah and the same every single year. You want to see guys kind of change things up and come up with something new. And Jeremy, sorry, came up with what, a 1970s dirt late model design,
Yeah.
and that thing was wicked.
It definitely. It was funny because we had a conversation with him about it. I was like, dude, what are you doing? He's like, what? I was like, that's a dirt late model you brought out here. He goes, yeah, that's what I was going for. I was like, I understand that, but don't you think you take it a little too far? And he's no. I mean, that's just Jeremy, right? But
Yeah, of course, he will always tell you,
no.
you'll never beat me in the garage.
I love him. Love
Yeah.
that kid. But I do. I mean, part of me is like, yeah, I'd like to see the innovation. I like to see the extremeness. I mean, it kind of started last year, Travis Sanders brought that car out and it had the kind of the fender flares on it in the
Yeah.
rear and all that kind of stuff. And then all of a sudden you see 5 different cars with that same kind of style this year. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm with you. It looks cool and hopefully it does some aerodynamic stuff to those cars. I'm not sure if
Right.
anybody felt the difference overall. Would love some feedback there of what they thought. But how much of that plays into, how much is too much? Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
does it need to be reeled back in or not? I don't know. Because to me, the figure eights, like it's a fun class to be a part of, but it's to me, it's like the figure eights should almost be one of those. It's like run what you brung type. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah, but
just let them go and let them get extreme. But I mean, I don't know. But then you're spending umpteenth dollars and somebody trying to get into it.
yeah,
There's
and
that.
that's the thing is if and again, yeah, we'll have to kind of get more of an expertise from some of the figure eight guys that, some of these body alterations and putting a 70s dirt late model out there, does it really make a difference? But that's the nice thing about that class is you don't have to do that, right? It's not like the late models or super late models or modifieds where you have to have body rules. It's kind of like, here's your parameters and just stick to this, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if Jeremy's going beyond those parameters or not, but it would be interesting to find out kind of the next couple races what's said or done, or if anything is going to be said or done about his car. But it looked damn good though.
Yeah. There's some cool looking. I like Michael Wolf's looking car
His-
too. I mean, it was clean looking. I mean, even D3, he put a whole new body style on that thing, and
he just said, yeah, it made mine a pile.
hey, that's some feedback we wanted to hear, right?
Yeah, exactly. Oh shit.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, I wish they would get more cars, to be honest with you, because
yeah,
with having 10 cars, 11 cars, I think they started with the day with 12. I think they ended with 10.
yeah.
Because I think Kylie Swenson broke a motor, and I think somebody car didn't finish the race or something in the main event.
Well, and Javon broke, so.
And Javon broke, yeah.
Yeah.
So that kind of sucks, and I really like that class. So I really hope something can happen where some more cars can come out and help that class grow a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I do too. I mean, it's been around forever. It's a mainstay for that racetrack, and yeah, I would love to see some more additions to there because it's going to make the racing that much better, and it's going to make it that much more exciting for the fan base too.
Right.
You're sitting in staging over there, right? And they're running before us, and you can't see shit, but you can hear the crowd,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I'm just waiting to hear the
Yeah.
the butt pucker moments.
Uh-huh.
Because those are what you live for, so we need more of those, more or less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like they're missing about 9 cars, which if
Yeah.
they are, then that would be one
That'd be
hell
great.
of a car count.
Yeah, that'd be really
That'd
good.
be a great car count.
I mean, that's 20.
Yeah.
That's 20 cars. So that'd
Exactly.
be perfect. I mean, get 20 of them back on the racetrack, and you want to talk about action.
there'd be some action.
Yeah. All right. Well, you want to give the top 5 again?
For the figure eights?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jeremy Wall, Michael Wolf Jr., D3, Jared Wall, and Mr. Travis Sanders. That's your top 5 for the first figure eight race of the year. And on to the Grand American Modifieds. And I've seen a couple of comments already in the chat here. So I'm just going to go ahead and talk about this. So the reason I didn't race on Saturday, I have been having some health issues over the past like 2 years, to the point where I just have joint pain and muscle pain, and getting in and out of a car, it takes me a little while. It hurts, and that's not safe for me, and it's not safe for the other drivers on the racetrack. So I'm going to get myself better and get on the right track, and that way I can come out and race. You know, was upset about it, cried about it a lot, but you know, I'd rather be safe and be here in front of all of you on a Tuesday than in a hospital and with somebody else in a hospital and with a brand new car that we just put together. I don't want to wreck it. So that's the best options for us and myself. I've had a lot of support from the people at the track asking me what was going on, and I'm very thankful. Kind of hear my voice a little bit for all the support, because it is rough. So, but moving on, so I don't cry again.
It's all right. Let it out, bro. Just let it
done
go.
it enough. I've done it enough.
It's all right.
But I will have to challenge you a little bit, but I do agree with you. The super stock race, hearing it was probably the better night show of the night, but I think the last 5 laps of the night went to the Grand American Modifieds, and I'll get into that in a second. But we had a pretty good showing, not the greatest showing of cars to start, but I think we had started with 20, and 2 cars fell out early. I know Cody Milan, broke camshaft in practice, and so he obviously didn't even race. And then who was the other car that
Frank Denning overheated?
Frank Denning overheated. That's right.
Yep.
The 90 car.
Yep.
So started 18, which is still pretty good. I know there's a lot of cars missing still. CJ Wilson's wedding is this weekend, so he's prepping for that. So that was 1 car alone. Steve Rodenbaugh, who I know is watching the show right now, hasn't made it out. John Seeley, myself. So, I mean, right there's 5 cars that, we could have field of 25. So, but there are some names that have come back that is good. Eric Voss has come back. Let's see. Kyle Ray got his car fixed and came back. And we got a couple of rookies. Kirk Hunter in the 541. Ernest Jones. And is it Galen Baker? I do believe is a rookie. And then the 66R of Eric Reed. He came out for the SRL show last year, and then our last night of modifieds last year. So a lot of new faces in the class with a lot of returning people. So that's good for, not only our class, but, people wanting to get in with the modifieds. So my takeaway being in a spotter stand, it was awesome going green to checker.
That was tough, dude.
I know for some drivers though, going green to checker is tough.
That was tough.
Yeah, I totally understand going green to checkers is tough, but it was good because that means nobody was getting into each other. Nobody's diving into turn 1, lap 1, wrecking cars. They're giving each other room, and they're racing hard, right? There was some good hard racing out on the racetrack, and I want to say, like I said, it was about the last 5 laps. I think you had just gotten into 3rd. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Cade frickin' Fox starts 10th, gets around a bunch of cars. We're starting to come up to some lap traffic. And just like, it was almost like, because he's a tiny kid, he almost was just like boop, 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 around these lap cars. And I'm on the horn with George, like telling him, hey, pin him here, pin him here. use that car, use that car. Don't let him go by yet. And all of a sudden it's just like, you're 3 wide and then boom, he's gone. It was like, what
That
the hell
shit didn't
just
work.
happened? What the hell just happened, But he then obviously caught Kyle Ray, which I definitely didn't think he was going to catch Kyle. I know Kyle's watching the show right now. So I'll have to give him kind of some shit too. But Cade's a good driver, and Kyle is a respectful driver too. So if you get him, then he'll race you hard, and if you pass him clean, then he'll give you the spot. Obviously, he's going to try hard not to give it up, especially first place. But it just happened where he had a little bit better of a car and took the win. So congratulations to Cade Fox, his first ever modified race. I know he said earlier in the day to us that with Kenton's help too, him and his grandpa have been kind of taking over, working on the mod, and Kenton's crew has kind of been helping a little bit here and there, and Kyle Clegg has also been helping him and dialing that car in. So I don't know what fluid they drink over in the 51 pit or what, but I guess where they throw in that car, it's good.
Yeah,
But
it's a good car, man.
it's
It's
a good car, and
it's-
you put some good drivers in it.
Yeah, it's proof. You still got to go out and drive the car. I totally understand that, but that is a damn good car.
Mhm.
It's now been through 2 drivers in the last 4 years, and they've gone out and win races and been super competitive right off the bat. So, yeah, they got something dialed in with that thing, to be honest with you.
Mhm.
I don't know what it is, but
It's,
hats off
it's
to
going
them.
good. Yeah,
Got
hats
to go
off
back
to
to the
'em.
garage and work
Work
harder,
harder.
right?
Yeah, but I thought overall the GAM race, it got strung out for a little while, but then when it kind of came up to some lap traffic, the lead pack navigating through the lap traffic was really fun to watch. Like, it was kind of nail biting, but all those guys in the back did a phenomenal job of staying out of the way, but still racing as hard as they could, and I know that's kind of hard, but it was a good show, I thought.
Oh yeah,
But
it was there was a couple moments I was like, "Oh God, I'm gonna wreck."
yeah,
You could just see it, and I feel bad. Do want to point that out that poor Scotty, he had a great run going, and the poor guy got into the wall. I think it was about like 6 or 7 to go, right through somewhere right around there, and it looked like the car just kind of went away.
well,
I
he
don't know
actually
about, huh?
at some point, I don't know, just after halfway, he broke the shock mount on the lower control arm.
Yeah,
So he wasn't even actually using the left front shock.
yeah.
He was just using the spring and the tire as a suspension. So
It sucks because that's a brand new race car for him too, and he had a great run going, but
mhm.
I don't know if I'd had anything for him, but I don't know. But I feel bad for him too, because he got kind of washed up the racetrack going in 1 and 2, and I just followed Cade. I was like, screw this, I'm just gonna get right behind him and try to go.
Mhm.
But yeah, it was fun. It was fun being behind the wheel for that one. And usually opening nights are just, especially in our class, they're like last night of the year, right? The first night and the last night are usually the craziest. You see
Mhm.
a ton of wrecks, and people are just over driving and getting into each other and unnecessariness, right? And
Right.
so yeah, it was nice to see go green to it wasn't nice because I was huffing and puffing after the race, but it was great to see that all the cars ended up making it back on the trailer the way that they came off, the ones that actually started the main. So
Right.
yeah, huge congrats to Cade. He's a good kid. He's a really good kid. I like that kid a lot. He's super polite, friendly, good dad, good family. Love that for them. Come out in your first night and win.
He must be the reverse milk man baby, because his dad's really tall, and he's like 5'4" or something like that. I feel like.
And he's got like the
The
sick flow going on right now.
yeah, that's like back when we were in high school. Flow,
Yeah.
it's coming back.
Yeah, it is. It's the 2000s hairstyles are coming all around, I guess. But
But to announce your official results for the modified, so like we said, Cade Fox in the 51 took your win. 58 of Kyle Ray, 13S Jordan Smith, the 66R of Eric Reed, which I want to talk about him real quick, and the 6 of Scotty Scott. Yeah, so I actually sat right next to, or stood technically, right next to Eric's wife, and I, was chatting before, while the figure 8 race was going on, and asking him like, hey, it's so great you guys came out. They're from Salt Lake, and are you guys going to be able to make the whole show, or for the whole year? And they're planning on making every single race that they can, and especially, I guess, I don't know if they own or got a ride for, but they will be also racing the ARCA race when they come to Denver here, our next race.
Cool.
So he'll be running ARCA, and then he'll also run the modified.
Cool.
So yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
That's gonna be a long night.
Yeah, definitely. But she did have a lot of questions for me, kind of like how things work at the track, just kind of flow of things, scheduling, timing, practice, tires, stuff, all that kind of stuff. So, helping her out and stuff. And that's what us racers do. We help everybody out that we can when they have questions. We want to make sure everybody's having a good night and is out on the racetrack. So I know they're good friends with, I can't remember his name. It was the number 4 car, showed up for SRL as well. And the last night.
Hardy.
Yeah, Matt. Was it Matt Hart? No, it's
No,
not Matt Hardy.
he's the wrestler, bro.
Yeah, I know. I almost said Tom. Something Hardy. Yeah.
I forget what his first name was.
He was going to try and make it this first race, but ended up not making it because they had some crew issues that some of the crew that they'll have for the rest of the year weren't going to be able to make it. So that's another car that will be making an appearance this year. So we're going to have a pretty good modified lineup this year, which is awesome to see.
Yep. Oh, we kind of skipped over the dashes, but yes, congratulations to Jeremiah Hill. That was his first dash win.
Felt so bad for him for his qualifying.
Yeah. He got screwed. We could talk about that too.
Yeah. Lynn Hardy.
Lynn, that's right.
But to me, I'm not trying to blame him at all. He's out there. He goes out. You're not expecting the car in front of you to be slower, a lot slower. But also what I personally do is when you're looking at the car that's ahead of you going out for qualifying, you kind of know where they were in terms of practice times and just make that adjustment that when you get out on the track, you just wait like an extra little bit longer and give yourself that space, right? Now, again, I'm not trying to blame Jeremiah that, he screwed up because, you're going out there trying to put 2 fast laps down, right?
Well, and you're told when to go, like, know as well as I do. They send them, and then as soon as they get to the stripe, they send the second car.
Yeah, and that first car, I don't even really think he started getting going full speed until he came out of 4 on the initial lap. So it was like by that time he's already going into 3. Yeah. And it was like he didn't get down a good lap at all.
Yeah.
So it kind of sucks. I really hate it for them because they work hard on their car too.
Oh yeah, I mean they bust their ass, but I do want we're gonna hold on that because there is something that I want to talk about with that here in a little bit. So we're gonna finish up with the recap real quick, and then we're gonna get into green flag, black flag, because that's kind of a good segue into what I wanted to talk about with green flag, black flag. So, so to recap for the night, it was awesome. Good fan count too, I thought, for the evening. The fans aren't, I mean, we're still early in the season, and we typically see that early in May. It's not packed house, but you'll see it in 2 weeks, right? Like when the ARCA cars show up, and possibly next week too, because they got the wingless sprint cars coming up. So let's go over that real quick. So on the docket for next weekend, you have the Democross, Bandoleros, Legends, wingless sprint cars, and the Pro Trucks making their debut on the season. It is the Gilpin and Lodge Casino Winners Club Clash. Same time again, 6:30. Gates open up at 4. Looking forward to that one. That's going to be a fun one. Watching the wingless sprint cars. It'll be interesting to see how many of them show up. We talked about it in the last episode. So if you guys haven't seen that one, we talked about Mike Hathaway and Chris Mueller's new series that they're running with the wingless sprint cars. So if you haven't given them a listen, go check that one back out. But I'll be interested to see how many of them show up for this race. It's gonna be fun, and to watch the pro trucks. I mean, we saw they had the tightest end to their season when it came to championship race right last year. So it'll be interesting to see how it starts this season. So that one kicks off next Saturday. Be sure to be there.
Before you move on, I kind of want to. This was kind of funny. So right before, I want to say it was like right before the super stocks took their main event or started their main event, I started kind of putting my warm gear on, because if you saw me on the track on Saturday, I got zero body fat, right? So I get cold quick, and that sun goes down, it gets cold. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to prepare myself now, and that way I'm ahead of the game. And everybody in my pit's making fun of me, like, what are you cold? The sun's out, it's hot, blah, blah, blah. Like 15 minutes later, what's everybody doing? Oh, goddamn, it's cold. I got to put my damn hoodie on or something, bitch. Holy shit. Like, yeah. What's up? Yeah, I told you.
I was prepared.
Give
me shit.
Not you. I was talking about like, okay.
I know.
Well, I mean, you said something too.
I did say something.
You at least have your suit. You put your suit on.
I did. I wore it up the rest of the night. Let's put it that way. Yeah. Although I was dying a little bit.
He's on the radio like, I can feel the sweat going down my boobs.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's gross, but well, nothing you can do about it, I guess.
Nice visual for our listeners there.
Yeah, your man boobs.
Oh yeah, it was hot, and granted, I started wearing my long sleeve fire retardant, Alpine Stars shirt, and then I had like our crew shirt over top of it, and then I put my suit on over that, and it's 88 degrees outside. I mean, at that moment you realize you done screwed up.
Yeah.
And you wore too many layers. So at that moment, I was like, okay, we need to get moving here, because you can feel it like going down your face and everything.
Mm-hmm.
It was not fun.
Oh yeah,
not fun.
Just wait till July,
dude. I'm looking forward to July, but not looking forward to July at the same time. August was hotter last year, though.
You might have to pull an Ed and just not wear a shirt.
I know. Seeing him walk around on Saturday with his suit unzipped and his chest hairs all hanging out.
Oh my God.
I was waiting for him to zip it up and then catch like 3 or 4 hairs in the zipper just to see his reaction. Oh my God.
He's probably so used to it, it doesn't even hurt him anymore.
Yeah, probably true. But
oh my God.
I mean, it's still priceless. I mean, he's walking around with his chest hair all out. I was just like, man. And it was like the old classic blue suit. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like
back from like late 1980s.
Yeah. And like
early 1990s. Oh my God.
Fucking loved it. Oh, but anywho, all right. Let's get into one of our favorite topics, or favorite segments, I should say, excuse me. Green flag, black flag. So for all of you that might be new, this is where we pick a topic. We ask each other the question. We give our thumbs up, green flag, thumbs down, black flag, on whether we like the idea or not. But I'm going to start it off. I'm going to pose this to you. So we were just talking about qualifying and was thinking about this. And I know they've done this in the past, but do you think it's time, just based off of that exact thing, what happened to Jeremiah Hill, that, and granted on Saturday too, remember, because they had so many super stocks, Jim told them all, we're going to go 3 cars on the track at a time, which makes it even tighter. Okay.
Yeah.
So you do the lineup for qualifying based on your practice speeds. Okay. So the slowest guys go first, the fastest guys goes last, or gals, right? And then that way, you don't have to worry about any of that. They're all pretty much relatively the same speed. But then here's the caveat. You get called to go to qualifying, you go to the scales. If you're not there, right? You're not there and ready to go, you start in the rear of the field.
You don't qualify.
You don't qualify, and you start in the rear. And that's it.
I say green flag on that one just because I like the idea. I know there's probably going to be some people that disagree with that just because they've tried that in the past, and guys don't ever get ready and they take forever and they don't ever get lined up. But it's like, that's why you take their incentive away, that if they're not there, I mean, hell, SRL does it. The Cars Tour West does it. So obviously they're doing something that it's like they're laying the law of the land. And if you're not there, then consequences are happening. So if they can do it, we can do it. It's just getting all the drivers on board to do it, right? Because
Well,
then
there in turn is the consequence, right? Like you just
right.
pointed out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you know, put the lineup on the board. Start calling out numbers. You know, if you're not here in 5 minutes, you don't get to qualify. And I'm sorry if you were trying to change something at the last second, but you kind of know. Like everybody looks at Race Monitor and looks at their lap times, and you know, if you're in the bottom half and you're, you know, not running good that day or something, then you know you're going to be probably qualifying first, or at least in the first half. And if you know that, then get your shit ready, right? You know, so I say green flag, but I know there's a lot of people that, I don't know, probably will disagree with me just because of the fact that it didn't work previously.
Well, I think it again, it comes down to accountability and making sure, you know, you're on top of things and holding
Mhm.
people accountable. You know, you don't do this. This is the process, right? Like just like anything in life, really.
Mhm.
Like this is a process. You don't follow it, there's consequences, and there's
Right.
no ifs, ands, or buts. Like you
Right.
know the times, and yeah, granted, like if you have something go wrong, go up and say something at that point,
Mhm.
right? Like there's something wrong with my car. I'm
I need
gonna
a little
get
more
it.
time.
I'm gonna try and get it fixed. And well, you have 5 minutes. If you get it done, you get it done. If not, then sorry,
Sorry.
right? Like they do that in the highest levels of NASCAR, right? Like
Right.
it all the way down. I understand you want everybody to have a chance, and this is a weekly show. I get it, but at the
Mhm.
same time, like you don't you don't want to screw somebody like Jeremiah Hill, who was in a situation where he caught the car in front of him.
Mhm.
You know, that's not his fault. That's not the car in front of him's fault either.
Yeah.
You know, so how do you alleviate that from being an issue going forward, so that way you do get a fair opportunity of laying down a qualifying lap and you're not screwed for the night.
Right.
So yeah,
Totally agree.
yeah.
Totally agree.
But anywho,
Shit, I never really knew we were doing green flag, black flag.
hold on. Well, I want to, while you think of something, I want to bring
Okay.
up this little comment here from Andrew. So what about based off of season points? First points goes last, etc. Instead, that way the drivers will have an idea of the order without having to go to the tower before qualifying to see the lineup. I mean, I understand that, but like in this instance, opening night, nobody's got any points. Now, granted, like as the year progresses,
You
you'll
could do
totally
that.
see that. But my only thing about that, right, is because of the point system itself, it's not truly going based off of how fast one car is versus another. And I bring up this example at the end of last year, Holly Clark and Ed Vecchiarelli had pretty much missed the whole season, right? So
Mhm.
they would have to start up in the front and go first,
Mhm.
in right, and then down the line.
Right.
So it's just a way, you know, you all see, you know, who's you. I mean, I'm hoping, you know, majority of people, they have race pass or whatever, my laps, right? Like you're looking at your lap times, you know what's going on. You'll know
Mhm.
where you're going to be based off of, and you dedicate it to a certain practice. You know, we're going to set the lineup based off of second practice, because not
Right.
everybody goes out in third practice, and some people scuff. They're not going to lay down a good lap. So, you know,
Right.
you set it there, like we're going to go based off of second practice times, you know, and then go from there. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like you go out and you at least try. I mean, you're not gonna, are you gonna try and blow everybody's doors off? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah.
But there in turn, if you lay down a good lap, then you're further down the line as far as qualifying order. It would just make it more
Right.
even.
Right.
So
Um,
go ahead. What's your question?
what's my question?
What's your question?
Yeah. Um, I mean, I guess I bring this up just because it's happened a couple of times so far this year, and it's not that anybody did anything wrong or anything like that. So, cars on the track. So, somebody wrecks or spins out, needs a tow. Green flag, black flag, because obviously, like we've talked about, Jim likes to keep the show going, right? And there's some times where there's certain cars that wreck. All of a sudden, you're trying to hook them up. You know, the tow guys are trying to hook it up, and all of a sudden, they got to bring the flatbed out, right? Because it's not hooking up right to the, the tow one, and it's just taking forever. It's not their fault, like I said, but green flag, black flag, like they did the first night, I think for the super late models especially, instead of trying to hook up cars and bring them back during the race, just pull them into the center of the racetrack, leave them there, and get the races going again. Because there's been some times where we've had some wrecks that it takes a while. And, if for some reason it's a safety issue or an injury or something like that, obviously you want to take the time. But if it's something like guy smokes a wall, broke a spindle, he's in the middle of the track, just pull him down in the middle. Boom, we're like 2 laps later, we're going green. If no oil's on the track, right?
Right.
So green flag, black flag, kind of to help speed up things. All cars that are just able to be pulled away, just pull them to the center track.
I mean, I would 100% agree with that. Like a green flag. Now, there might be some one-off instances to where maybe it's a flat tire, right? And you want to get them back to the pits so that they can change it and get back out and try to reclaim some points and some position.
Right.
Totally understand that.
Yeah.
Right. You just give them a push off, hopefully, at that point.
Yeah.
But if, to your point, somebody's got a right front hanging, just get them down to the infield, even if it's just in the dirt, wherever.
Mm-hmm.
Just get them down and then get on with the show. And I mean, some of that stuff is going to be, it's going to be case by case, but for the majority, you got 3-4 cars, something like that have been tangled up and they're just sitting there, just pull them down in the infield and then get on with the show, right? And then take care of it. Because by the time the show's over with, right, like you have the driver interview and the trophy presentation and all that kind of stuff, you have plenty of time at that time to collect all the cars and get them off the racetrack,
right?
And then at that point it's probably safer, I mean, nobody's on the track and everything, so I agree with that. I agree with that. I do. you kind of sparked another green flag, black flag for me.
Go ahead.
That I want to bring up. And this might be, I know probably somebody's going to give me a phone call later about this one, but I'm going to say it anyways, because I don't care. And we didn't talk about this, and I totally forgot about it till you said this, but I believe it was the Super Stock Dash. There was a car that spun out on the backstretch, and the leaders were coming to the stripe when this car spun out, and he was sitting on the backstretch. Now, this is a couple weeks in a row that we've seen this.
Mm-hmm.
Was about 1.5 car lengths from the wall, but clearly wasn't getting moving. You could see the driver, because I was looking right at him. The driver was trying to get it refired and get out of the way.
Right.
I mean, you know as well as I do, and as a driver, and you're sitting in the middle of the racetrack, like you're freaking the hell out.
You want to get the fuck out of the way.
You want to get the fuck out of the way. You don't want to sit there in that position.
Right.
And they go into turn 1 and 2, and they're still green. Coming off of 2, still green. Finally, the light trips, and the whole stands on the backstretch that was down closest to turn 2. I mean, they're up in the air waving at the drivers, like trying to get them to slow down because there was a car there. Now, luckily, it was Dylan Kellogg that was leading that race, and he's got plenty of wits about him. He saw it, slowed down, went by. The rest of them followed suit, but it was a super late yellow coming out.
Yeah.
Now, you, me, the world, the fence, everybody knows who ends up making that call. But my green flag, black flag, nobody else, in my opinion, should be triggering the light or dictating when the light goes on other than the flag man himself? Green flag, black flag.
I would say definitely green flag, especially if the communication is there from track officials in those corners or down the back straightaway, wherever they're at. And they're saying car spun, not moving, boom,
Trip it.
And, if Kurt, the flag man, looks up and after 2-3 seconds of looking up, he's not moving, you're seeing the leaders coming out of 2, boom, he can make it quicker decision than as they're coming out of 2 and almost already at that car, right?
Yep.
He could have made that decision at the apex of 1 and 2 or even earlier.
And you and I had a conversation with him afterwards, and he straight up told us that he wanted to trip it, but he knew that he wasn't at liberty to.
Yeah.
Which I don't blame Kurt, because he's doing what he's told and it's his job. I understand that completely. But to me, for the safetyness of the drivers,
Well,
to
just
me,
look at
if
the
it was
week
me in the
before.
flag stand, I would have said screw you, and I would have just flipped the light myself and I would have just done it. But
Well, just look at the week before. Now, granted, this was a bang bang moment, but we had an incident where we had a spun out car and a car got hit. Again, it was a bam bam moment, and this is different, but it could have been not different had the leader been not paying attention.
Well, to add to that, it was the same race, was it not? That there was a car stuck on the exit of the racetrack.
That was the figure 8 dash.
The figure 8 dash.
The car was stuck trying to get off the track. And again, he was like looking, like waiting for the call of, okay, any moment now, throw it. And I think it was like 3 laps went by and it finally got thrown. It's like, and again, to me, like I said last week, I'm not throwing shade at the officials in the corners and stuff like that, but where was that corner for that particular incident? Where was that official standing right there at track exit? Why was she not like car stuck at exit, car stuck at exit, car stuck at exit? Maybe she did.
was.
I don't know. I don't listen to race receiver
again.
You know what I mean?
We can't assume at that point, right?
Yeah.
But you could clearly see it. Like everybody could see that the car was stuck there.
Yeah.
And and the light didn't get tripped. And the reason why I bring that particular instance up is because if you think back to and Ray, I'm sure she's watching. Correct me if I'm wrong. And I'm sure everybody, there's a bunch of other people that might remember this, but John Seeley got spun out coming off of turn 2 right there and ended up going driver's side into that wall right there.
Mm-hmm.
Like that is a high speed point of the racetrack that you just flat out don't, excuse my language, fuck with.
Yeah.
That is a very dangerous corner. And if there's a car stuck there, the last thing you want to happen is somebody gets, tangled up, they're 2x2, and you just want to get the show on, and somebody gets wadded up, and then boom, they go right into the back end of that car, and then 3 cars are destroyed.
So there's a note, I'm sure you just saw, that track official right there was indeed announcing it on the radio and was told they're far enough out. I'm sorry, if another car has to get off the track and they're sitting right there at track exit, how do they get off the track?
Yeah.
Are they just going to stand there? Now you got 2 cars. Now you got to throw the flag no matter what.
Yeah.
Like, that seems stupid.
Yeah. It's been kind of a little bit of a concern, the first couple races here, and hopefully it gets figured out. Again, if it just gets brought up, it's such a, to me, like you're flirting with danger, big danger there by not throwing the yellow, and somebody who's just stuck in the middle of the racetrack, and somebody's doing 70, 80 miles an hour, and you're trying to control something that's uncontrollable. I mean, let's be real. Anything can happen at any given point, and the least thing you want to do is put somebody's life at stake because you think they're fucking around and they're trying to play games and throw the yellow on purpose. Like it doesn't matter, right? Like it doesn't matter. The safety of the drivers and crew and everybody else at that place is far more important of whether you think somebody's playing games.
Yeah.
And if they do, then the thing you do is you black flag them and get them off the racetrack. Like, it's simple as that too.
Mm-hmm. Hey, I sat my ass out of a race car to help keep other people safe. We could throw a fucking flag if there's a car stuck on track exit. God damn it.
Usually it's me swearing on this channel, and you getting a little fired up now.
That just seems like a stupid excuse. Right?
I know.
And I'm like you said, I'm sure we'll get a phone call about this one, but it's stuff like that. People notice it, and other people may say it, maybe they don't, but it needs to be publicly
addressed. Yeah, it needs to be spoken about for sure.
Yeah. Because had they maybe going the other direction, right, and where that car was sitting, that's almost a head-on collision, like you said. That's a fast part of the track.
It is. It is it's probably the fastest part of the racetrack. I mean, really, it's no joke. I mean, we saw who was the guy that broke a trailing arm mount and hit you and then went up into that wall?
Oh, Paul Dinas in the 28.
Yeah. I mean, it's no joke right there. It's no joke.
Yeah.
So, anyways, but all right. Yeah, I had to add in that last little green flag. I couldn't let that one slide for the night.
If we don't have a show next week, we're sorry, people. We'll have a show next week.
Oh yeah, guaranteed. No matter what.
We didn't threaten anybody. We didn't harmfully say anything bad about anybody.
No, just constructive criticism. We're allowed to.
Exactly.
So whatever.
That's what the rule says.
That's what the rule says.
I'm not bashing the track at all either. So.
Anyways. All right, cool. That was good. I enjoyed those. Those are some good green flag, black flags. I like that. But shall we move on and talk about one other race that I want to kind of talk about, actually, before we move on to anything else? The Spears Cars Tour West was out at All American Speedway last weekend, and one of our very own local drivers, who's actually leading the points for the super late model division in that touring series, Jace Hansen. Don't know if anybody saw it, don't know if you follow Jace or whatnot, but I know that he was getting a motor refreshed in his car, and they didn't know if they were going to make that race or not, but Roger Avance ended up loaning them his car to make the trip all the way out to California and go participate in order to keep them in the points hunt for that race.
What an awesome guy.
I mean, you don't see that very often at all. Somebody loaning out their car to go to somebody else,
right.
and then let alone take it somewhere in another state.
Right.
Right. So yeah, huge show of friendship and what kind of guy Roger Avance truly is. I mean, that's incredible. Let them guys take his car and work on it for a week and then take it out there, and then do pretty well in a car that you've never had any time in whatsoever.
And it's a 2016.
Yeah, it's an older car. I'm sure it's not all the same apples to apples type equipment, so it might be some new stuff that you maybe never tried before. For example, Port City does a lot of their rear end stuff different than a Hamke does. So, you know what I mean? Like there's some differences in those cars, but, he qualified 9th and then ended up finishing 4th and is, got I think an 8-point lead still in the points chase for the Cars Tour West. So, they're going to be coming out here later this summer. So it'll be interesting to see, when he comes back here and where he's at in the point standings and how things are going for that whole series. So looking forward to that. That's going to be a fun one.
Yeah. Speaking of Cars Tour East, the late model stock cars. I don't know if you saw this on Dale Jr.'s download, but he announced that they will be broadcasting the late model stock race at North Wilkesboro this weekend, not only on Flow, but Fox 31, or not Fox 31, FS1.
FS1, yeah.
And him and Kevin Harvick and was it Steve? There's some other guy that is going to be announcing that race. So pretty damn cool. If you don't have Flow Racing, and you're wanting to watch it, because I do believe Cody Dempster is going to be racing in it. I think I saw his post earlier.
Yep.
Then you'll be able to watch it. Watch it on FS1.
And I know he's making the trip back out for this weekend's race. I thought I saw a post earlier about that. Was that the one?
He's racing at North Wilkesboro because it's
Wilkesboro. Okay,
it's for the All-Star race.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's huge for short track racing to be on FS1, a cable network to broadcast short track racing again.
Yeah.
I mean, that is absolutely huge.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm happy about it. I'll definitely be tuning in, watching it all and checking. It's showing that it's growing back again, right? Like it's starting to show interest once again in the local type stuff. I didn't watch one lap of the Cup Series race on Sunday. Not one lap. I had no interest whatsoever.
I think I was looking through the guide and it said like 5 minutes left, so I turned it on just to see who was leading it, and I think it was Kyle Larson was leading it by like 3 seconds. I'm like, okay, there's like 5 laps left. I'm like, okay, that's all I need to know.
I'm done.
Yeah,
I'm done. But just so you all know, coming up on the docket, we got the ARCA series coming up here in a couple weeks, so stay tuned for that. Like, now you know of one additional driver that's going to be competing in that one. A lot of good racing still to go. We're very, very, very early in the season here. We'll give it a few weeks too, and just as we kind of did last year, give our championship predictions, if you will. We'll go through each class and we'll kind of give our take on who we think might be at the points chase at the end of the season. So stay tuned for that here in a few weeks. I know, Jake, you got a nice little chit chat with Chad on Saturday.
Oh, Chad, yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I got some top secret information that I think he said if I said anything, he'd kill me.
Pretty much. That was
pretty
much his
I will not be saying what he told me, but I do want to say what he did told me. As racers, especially as fans, if they do it, if they get the funding for it, it's going to be awesome. I think it's totally going to bring huge life back into CNS. And that's really all I can say about it, is that it's going to bring a new dynamic to CNS that they've never had before. They might have done something different early in the 90s, but it's not going to be what they're going to be doing, right? And again, he told me it all comes down to funding. It's very expensive. The stuff they've done so far has been expensive, but it's been stuff that they knew was going to be the prices that they paid, right? Yeah. But everything that comes into the track is going right back into the track. So just know that all funding and everything like that is being put back into the track to make it better. It was kind of funny. And he had right before obviously the first weekend, they had painted all the walls, right? And he said I think he was either in turn 4 staging or looking somewhere down the track, right? And that bando that ended up hitting the wall, I can't remember if it was in the outlaw class or the bandits class, but now granted, he was like, oh, safety comes first, like I didn't care. But at the same time, the bando hit the wall, scuffed the wall, put a little mark in it. And he's like, no, I just painted that wall. Damn it.
But I mean, that's a nice sign, right? Because it's like the pride that's going back into it. And granted, obviously, can't dispel a bunch of information. Want to leave that to these guys to be able to like tell you guys firsthand of what the next moves might possibly be at the racetrack. But what we can express is the amount of excitement, the amount of energy, the amount of dedication that is going back into revitalizing this entire racetrack. It's being proven, it's being shown, and for all of you that have actually made it to the racetrack for the first few weeks, I mean, nothing but excitement has come from everybody that I've talked to. They're like, holy crap, this place is just night and day different.
Yeah.
And it's awesome. I mean,
Yeah.
it's awesome. And to see where it's going to go is even more exciting.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, he again had to reiterate to me that he's like, I'm like a little kid with an
Fat kid in a
unlimited
candy
budget.
store.
Yeah, I'm a little kid with an unlimited budget, or at least somewhat of a limited budget, in a candy store, and you want to do all this stuff, but then it's like you kind of have to step back a little bit and pick and choose at the first, at the first part of the year here. So, but yeah, it's like you said, it's great that you see the excitement in the owners, and that they're really putting into it.
Yep.
Right? They're really trying to help us out as racers and as fans.
And it's going to get there. It's going to take time. Again, give it a chance. Things are looking bright, and things are going in a good direction, and things will get there. It's not going to all change overnight, like from processes to everything, right? Like it'll get there. It's a work in
Right.
progress. Another big thing that I want to also, now that these things are happening, the big improvements and everything, we got to continue to promote it. We got to do everything that we can as racers, as fans, as family, everything, right? Like getting asses in those stands, because that is only going to help, right?
Mhm.
It is only going to help further along the progression, if you will. The
Right.
more people that come out on a weekly basis, and like I said, I've been pretty impressed so far. The crowd count early on in this season, it's been pretty good. I mean, it hasn't been packed by July standards, but for early on in the year, it's been pretty packed, and I've been super happy with that. Looking over in the stands and going, damn, that's pretty decent crowd.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway.
Definitely. Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know if there's anything else that you wanted to talk about, but there was one thing I wanted to shout out, because he is pretty much the starter, owner, and operator of our family and race team, right? Cheatin' Chuck Smith Jr. turned, I can't say 29 since I'm 37. So we're going to say 49 today. Chuck Smith Jr. turned 49 today.
Everybody knows you're full of shit.
I know.
Yeah. The big 6'5" today.
Yep.
6'5". I was giving him shit earlier. I called him. He was down at Leary's getting some parts and stuff, and I was like, oh, so he said something about hearing. He's like, what'd you say? I was like, yeah, it must be hard when you turn 65. And he goes, fuck you.
Yeah, he already lost the eyesight.
Yeah.
He's always got to have glasses on. Hands are starting to get a little tight.
Yeah.
Now the hear, huh?
Yeah, the other day, I gotta kind of tell this story. We were underneath the car, measuring the fuel, how much fuel we had left in the car and stuff. And you got the little dipstick, and it has the little screw nozzle on it. And he's down there, and he's trying to like crank it. And he's like, fuck, who put this on here so tight? I'm like, I put it on there. I was the one that tightened it down. What are you talking about? I can't get that off. I just went down there with 2 fingers, boom, clicked it open, screwed it. It's like, I kind of gave him that look.
Yeah, I know his pain, man.
Yeah, he's like, fuck you.
Fucking old, man.
Yeah, he's like, fuck.
Been doing this for freaking 50 years.
Oh, I just give him shit whenever I get a chance to. It's that's just how we are.
Yeah.
It's how I am with him. But love him. Yeah, thank God.
Yeah.
Huge help for us, and huge mentor and stuff to Jake and I, that's for sure. And
Yeah.
even the girls, like everybody that's involved in our team. So
Exactly. So if you see him this weekend, wish him a happy birthday. I will not be at the track this weekend. I know the girls race with the Bandoleros, but my wife and I are actually going down to CJ Wilson's wedding. We got invited, so we're going to go and support CJ and Lily. So if you know them, wish them a happy marriage. And I don't know when they're going on honeymoons or anything like that, but if you have a chance, just wish them well.
Yes, congratulations on both of you. I won't be able to go, but congratulations to you both. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've been looking at the chat here, but our dear friend, Miss Ray Duncan says, I have an announcement. I'm just going to say this about you and your announcements. Half of them I can't believe, because last week I saw an announcement that Nathan Gasser was going to be driving John Seeley's car, and that was a full fabricated lie.
Joke. Yeah.
So,
Well, I
don't want to believe.
I think I know what the announcement is, but if she wants to say it, she can. But no, I feel so bad for her. I hope you're okay. She, for the fast dash, for the modifieds, she was coming up, trying to come over to the spotter stand. I don't know if she tripped on the caution tape or what, but she ended up kind of falling and hurting herself pretty good. So hopefully you're okay, and it's not that you're leaving again already after 2 races.
Hopefully not. Yeah, I heard about that. She like rolled her ankle or something like that. But
oh, yeah. Well, she said, "This is serious. I promise. Please be nice to the new spotter official." Well, I know who the new. Wait, is it the same spotter official that was on Saturday, or is this a complete new spotter official?
Well, there you go. There's the announcement. There's going to be a new spotter official.
Yes.
Up for this next weekend. Yeah, get well soon. Hopefully your ankle isn't as serious as what it,
If it's Scott, I might give him some shit, but I'll always be nice to Scott. Oh, she broke her foot pretty bad. Oh,
ouch.
Ooh, I'm so sorry.
Ouch.
Oh, good. You can sit up in the spotter stand with your foot up and yell at people over the microphone. Get a little chair. Get her a little what are those called? Side tables, right next to her, and she can put a little drink down.
Cocktail.
Mm-hmm.
Just the headphone and the microphone.
Protrax to the scales now. Don't make me throw my drink at you.
Oh my God. Spot on. That was a very good impersonation. I'm not gonna lie.
Thanks.
Anyways, all right. Yeah, come out, check out the races this upcoming weekend. Appreciate you all who did come out last weekend. Was super fun. Great kickoff to the year for us. Looking forward to next week and the week after, and then we'll finally have a weekend off come the 31st. But be safe, everybody out there. Drive with your head. Keep straight head on. Keep cars straight. Hopefully, everybody takes their stuff home just the way that they took it off the trailer. So, with me, that's all I have for the night. I'm going to hand it over to Jake. But thank you all for watching, and it's good to be back on Facebook and seeing all these friendly faces that we haven't seen in a while.
Yeah. Nope. I'm with you. Have a good weekend. Be safe. Race hard. And just thank you for the outpouring support with my decision. So I'll be back out. I'll be stronger. I'll be better. It's just going to take a while. So thank you, everybody, with your support. But yeah, again, I'm glad we're back on Facebook as well. Kind of doing through YouTube only is kind of hard. So finally getting on Facebook, we had a lot more viewers tonight than we had previously. So we thank you all for that.
Yeah, appreciate the support. It's been awesome. Looking forward to the rest of the season. But with that being said, thank you all for tuning into Hittin' Chip. Looking forward to the next one, and we'll see you guys this Saturday. So have a good night, everybody.